Back in March, I did a recording on how to boost your immune system and fight infection, and it was right at the start of the pandemic when we were just about to go into lockdown. And I cited four different phases of this particular pandemic. And the first one was to prevent, the second one was to resist, which is our own responsibility, the third was to treat, and the fourth was to recover. So, recovery. And today is all about recovery. And it's so poignant in this time because so many people are struggling, and recovery can mean different things for different people. So what does recovery mean for you? It may mean recovering from the virus itself. It might mean recovering from being overworked and stressed as a consequence of all the work in the run up to Christmas. It might mean for you recovering from a traumatic brain injury. It could be recovering from stress, anxiety, or depression. What does recovery mean for you personally? And I just encourage you to, first of all, write that down. Now, when we talk about recovery, it always really seems to be the point that we notice that we have a condition that isn't serving us. So it's about recovering from an illness, recovering from something that has hurt us, so that we can get better. But recovery really can start so much sooner than that to enable us to really accelerate our recovery. And what do I mean by this? This is all about ensuring that we are looking after ourselves, both mentally and physically, to accelerate our recovery. And when I'm talking about looking after ourselves mentally, I'm talking about managing our brain health. Now, we are all born with a particular level of brain reserve, and how much brain reserve we have when we are born depends on our family genetics, and it also depends on what the environment was when we were grown in the womb, as well as how we were born, whether we were born by cesarean section, where we were born naturally, and what the trauma was associated with that birthing experience for the baby that comes out of the womb. So that dictates our brain reserve. And over the course of our lifetime, our brain reserve changes, and it typically depletes. For men, it depletes on a different curve to women, because women's brain reserve is changed when we get pregnant, and it also changes when we go through menopause. So we can't just assume that a man's brain reserve declines at the same rate as a woman's, because it does not. What does this mean in terms of recovery? Well, how effectively we recover from something is very much dictated by the brain reserve we have. And our brain reserve is very much dictated by our habits, by our emotional. So if we think about the four quadrants of our well-being, it's dictated by our emotional well-being at the time. So the landscape of our brain at the time that we may be vulnerable to external illnesses is dictated by the actions that we take, including our habits, including the work, the lifestyle that we live. It's dictated by the mental learning that we do, and how well we are at learning new things and keeping our brain fresh. And it's also dictated by our spiritual well-being. That's our focus on our purpose, our values and beliefs, and within that sits yourself. So your biological makeup, how your brain it actually functions from birth, dictates how well we are able to recover from things. And if we think about our actions, and these are really fundamental to how effectively we can recover, food is a really important aspect, and drink is a really important aspect of ensuring that we support our brain health. Why is it so important? Because food is medicine for our brain. If we don't put the right fuel in our tank, it's not going to function effectively. And the food that we eat dictates how strong our immune system is. So if we drink loads of alcohol, that will kill the good bugs as well as the bad bugs in our gut, and that increases our risk of being open to infection. And alongside that, we've got managing our stress levels. That's the emotional side of our well-being, and ensuring that those stress levels are managed to aid our recovery. So the higher your stress level, the lower your brain reserve, and the more likely you are going to move from a state that you are okay to a state that you're struggling and you need to go into a recovery phase. So I'll ask yourself, first of all, is what does recovery mean for you at this time of year? And secondly, is what steps can you take from an emotional perspective in terms of managing your emotions, your feelings? What steps can you take from a habits and actions perspective to manage your physical well-being? Includes exercise, food, drink consumption, as well as the work environment that you are in. What steps can you take from a mental well-being to ensure that you are stimulating your mind, ensuring that you are managing your activities from a planning perspective so you're not overwhelming yourself unnecessarily, and also managing your thoughts. And thoughts can really upset our emotional well-being. We don't have to listen to every stupid thought that we have. So please do look at my post on thoughts that I've done recently. And then finally, managing our spiritual well-being is looking at our purpose, our values and beliefs, and making sure that is all dialed in to aid our recovery. So think about those 4 quadrants of what your well-being and where you need to really dial in to help you recover from whatever it is that you are struggling from at the moment. And please do know that recovery covers all aspects of our brain health. It covers all aspects of our physical health. And every person's recovery profile will differ depending on what your unique brain is like, how your unique brain is working, and what is necessary in terms of your treatment or your recovery plan to help you not only get back to normal, whatever that may be for you, but also really optimize your brain health so that you can live a healthier, happier life. I hope this serves you. Recovery isn't just about fixing yourself if you feel you've become broken, but focusing on how you can prevent yourself from getting into that situation in the first place, so that you can strengthen your resolve, so that you can strengthen your immune system, so that you can strengthen your brain health, and therefore accelerate any recovery that you may need to do anyway as a result of the environmental factors or anything else that is affecting how you are showing up. I hope this serves you. If you are really struggling with your brain health from a recovery perspective and you've experienced an injury, an insult, whether recently or many years ago, and you would like support in terms of how you can accelerate your recovery, and that includes traumatic brain injury, then please do reach out to myself. You can register yourself for a free unleashed strategy session to understand how I can help you, which includes a detailed brain health evaluation. If that is something that you are interested in, you can access havening with myself and other brain health coaching techniques that I use to really help people recover from whatever they are struggling with, and also unchain, unlock and unleash their full potential. Have a very happy Christmas. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.